Welcome to another episode of Women in Focus. One fine day, I get a beautiful letter from a young woman. I don't know whether she's young or not because I've never met her. And she said that she loves our program, Women in Focus. And if I haven't interviewed this person, I should interview her. The person who wrote this letter, her name is Kripal. Kripalji, I would like to thank you very much for introducing me to this amazing woman. I found out a little bit about her. Her name is Abnash Gill, and she is our Woman in Focus. You write that she is very intellectual. She is very brave. She's brought up her children by herself. You've written her entire life history here. She's a yoga teacher. She has helped people. And I thought, I have to listen to you, Kripalji, and interview this amazing woman who is as amazing as you say. Her name, of course, is Abnash Gill. You're most welcome in our program. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
You know this Kripal?
Yes, I know Kripal.
How do you know Kripal?
Kripal is part of our yoga at Akali Singh.
Acha.
Yes, and मैं रन कर दी हैगी तो वो आई सी फिर उन्हें पैसे कलेक्ट करने से so पैसे कलेक्ट करने नहीं चंगे लगते हैं.
So she looks after all the collection.
हाँ जी.
So Avinash ji, she says that you are a single parent. Can we go back and talk a little bit about it? I know that you've done yoga at a lot of gurdwaras. I'll come to that as well. And why did you do that and all that will become a part of this interview. But let's just take you back to your childhood. Where were you born?
India, Punjab, Jalandhar, and Coquitlam Singh.
And then did your parents move from there? Because you and I both lived in
Hounslow.
Hounslow.
Yes, Hounslow. Yeah. I know you from there.
Yes.
Even though we never talked.
Yes.
And we used to run a theatre.
Yes.
In Hounslow West.
No kidding.
Yes. And you used to come and at halftime tell about the next movie.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes, it is.
So we've known each other without knowing each other.
Without knowing it, I never talked to you, but even up there, didn't talk to you. But it was nice.
Your movies were all Indian or were they Western as well?
No, just Indian movies.
Just Indian films.
It was very new thing to do. Very new thing to do.
In the 60s?
Yes.
Late 60s?
Yes. It was very new thing to do.
So when your parents moved from Punjab to England, how did you guys feel about that? You must be very young at that time.
Yes, I was. I was about 12. Then, 12. And then, I was very young. And my dad was my, I don't know, love. I really admired him.
He was your hero?
Hero, and I wanted to be with him all the time. And when he moved, it was very sad for me.
Right.
Sad for me. Very sad for me.
How many in the family?
We had 3 sisters and 1 brother.
How did you meet your husband? Was it arranged or?
No.
No. It was not arranged? Oh. How was it then?
That was still our Hounslow Best train station.
You met him at Hounslow West?
I didn't meet him. He just... I used to work at the British Airways, and then I used to change my bus at Hounslow West station, train station up there.
Right.
And one day he was just standing up there against the wall. You know the Hounslow West station up there.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And I felt it. I said, this guy's gonna
I've seen him many times.
No, haven't seen him, but I could feel it. Why he is standing up there? There was not too many East Indian girls or people up there, so I was only one. He was standing and gawking. Then he moved. Then I said, oh, he's cross the road. He did cross the road. I said, oh my God, he's going to talk to me.
And he did.
And he did. He came behind me and said something. I still don't know what he said. I just turned around and I said, don't you ever bother me ever again.
Just like that.
Just like that. And just turned around. And then I was so scared, maybe he will sit in my bus, and then I made sure that I was sitting with someone, so he
doesn't come and sit next to you.
Sit to me. And that's where it was start. Then he just never gave up.
Every day you saw him? Almost?
At the theater. Then he make friends with my co-workers, my manager, then made friends with my cousin, with my pua. Then what he did? Then he went, my dad used to work in the bakery, and they always needed for night shift extra people.
Right.
And he went and started working with him.
Working with him?
Yeah, just one night.
Smart guy.
Very smart. But I never told anyone at home.
That I know who he is.
Like somebody bothered me or what.
Yeah,
it wasn't a big deal because he didn't bother me
right.
after that. After that, he never ever talked to me.
Right.
And one day, I came home. He was having tea with my parents. My father was wallpapering, and he was sitting up there and having tea. I opened the door and so.
So he's infiltrated in your house.
And I was so upset, and I shut the door and went in my bedroom and just sat in my bed, and I'm so angry. फिर daddy आए देखा, are you a queen of England? We have to ask your permission
to invite
who
someone.
Will come after us. That's where he started. Then,
so your parents already liked him.
Yes, he made everyone fall in love with him.
Yes,
everyone.
And he knew that that's the only way he could get you.
Yeah.
And then you had to say yes.
Yes, I wasn't saying yes, but then Mom, I never went to the kitchen. Mom brought the tray and sat with me. And then I said, okay. Then they said, your Puaji likes her too, him too. I said, okay then.
Well, if Puaji likes, then everybody likes.
Yes, that's what happened. Then I thought, okay, then what I did, because it didn't bother me, then I made that positive as well. So he will be a good listener.
Good. I'm so glad that you did that. But you stood your ground as well. I'm going to take a short break and come back and talk about your life with him and your life here in Canada. Okay. What brought you here in Canada? Let's take a short commercial break. Abnash Gill is our Woman in Focus today. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Women in Focus. Our Woman in Focus today is Abnash Gill. So this guy meets you, he falls in love with you, he makes friends with your parents, and that's how he got you.
Yes, he got me.
How long were you married to him? Because I understand you lost him.
Yes, I was married to him for 10 years.
Just 10 years?
Just 10 years.
Oh my. And when did you come to Canada?
1973.
And were you did you have children at that time?
Yes, I had 2 children at that time. That was the thing to move up here. So it's a better country for the future.
Right.
So, and he got a job here as well. So it was nice. And I stayed. He came in January, and I stayed back because we were well settled up there.
Right.
And didn't want to come without house.
Right.
So bringing 2 children up there, okay. I said, you go, and I don't know if he will like it or not yet. So he came first, and then...
So who was here in Vancouver that he chose Vancouver?
He knew someone from his village.
I see.
But mills are up here, right?
Right.
So he was a creative on the wood stuff.
Ah.
So that's how he was.
So then you guys all moved here. And how old were your kids at that time?
9 and 3.
Wow. And a boy and a girl?
Both boys.
Both boys?
Boys, yes.
9 and 3?
Yes.
And then very soon after you came here, he passed away?
Yeah, he came in January, and I came in May, and he passed away in December.
What happened?
We just bought a house, and we are all remodeling it and whatnot. Bought a very small old house. And he was crossing the road right in front of our house and one side of two cars they stop, the other side one lane stop. The second lane guy came from back and never stopped.
Hit him.
Hit him and killed him right there and then.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
That must have been a huge shock for you.
It was huge. I didn't know anyone up here. It was really bad. Yeah, really bad.
Well, no wonder your friend calls you very brave. I mean, you brought your two children up by yourself. So what did you do?
What I did whatever I could fit my schedule with the children. So at that time, my older son, he found England. I was lost. He remembered to phone England, so he phoned, and my both fathers came at the same day. They came right away. So that was great. And my father-in-law knew few people up here. So he did whatever he had to do with, learned it from that person. He helped him how to, about the Gurdwara and all that, and journey. And he found a lawyer as well. So he left me in that good hand.
What a shock.
It was so shocked. Like I couldn't see that. How come he didn't see? He's 6'2", so tall, could see from far away, and don't know what had happened. But then he says, time comes.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. And that's the way I think our philosophy is. What is going to happen is going to happen. So it does happen, right? So for you, when you were in England, obviously both of you were working together. Over here, how did you bring up your kids then? Did you work? Where did you work?
Yes, I was working then. Just my husband was getting upset me working because two children, and I was working a little night shift, about 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
I said, I need few things for the
Right.
house.
That's right.
And you can't provide me those things, one working. Then I said, as soon as I got those things, then I'm gonna stop.
I'll stop working.
Stop working. He was like, oh, I have to be alone in the evening. He didn't want that. I said, promise that when I got the picture frame, kitchen stuff, household stuff, when I got that, then
All that,
it will
I'll
be all
stop.
yours. Then it's all yours. And then I worked, the restaurant was close by,
Right.
and I worked up there.
Right.
And then I worked night shift,
Bringing up your two kids.
bringing up the two kids. So night shift and setting up example too.
Right.
So
what do your two sons do?
now one is attorney.
Yes.
And a politician as well.
Wow.
He's in California.
Right.
And one up here, he works for government.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And you have grandchildren now.
Yes, I have 5 grandchildren.
And that's your lease of life.
Very, very easy.
How many grandkids do you have?
5.
Oh, isn't that just
5.
beautiful?
Yeah.
Do you get to see them all the time?
One of my son.
Yes. Who's here?
Who's here.
Yeah.
Now we lived together for 18 years.
Right.
And now because the grandchildren are grown up, so I decided I want to move downstairs.
Right.
So they're upstairs. I'm downstairs. It's very nice. Very nice.
And you have a nice
Yeah.
new
Yeah, no,
daughter-in-law.
she's very nice
Good,
too.
good.
She actually, all those groups I'm running, she encouraged me and she kind of gave me encouragement.
I want to talk about all those groups. I want to talk about how you got out of, being a woman who is alone and saying to yourself, this person that I was, who loved me so much and has gone out of my life, what am I going to do? Instead of doing all that, you became stronger within yourself to help others. So let's take a short break and come back, and I want to talk about the yoga classes that you started. Why yoga? Okay, so let's take a short break. Abnash Gill is our Woman in Focus today. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Women in Focus. Our woman in focus today is Mrs. Abnash Gill. So, I never asked you, well, we talked off air, Abnash. Your mom named you Abnash, right? Instead of Avinash. Yeah. And she insisted you be called Abnash.
Abnash, yes.
So, no reason given. No. You brought this book for me. You're a published author as well. Tell me something about this.
This is from the Dogwood Community Center in Coquitlam. And we have a life writers group.
Okay.
And we're 15, 16 women and men. They come and we write our own life stories.
Okay.
They are not made up stories.
Right.
Any episode you want to share, so you write, and then once a year we make it that kind of a magazine book.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is beautiful. It's becoming a family history.
That is the right way of putting it.
Yeah.
You know, like Ancestry has started and other things have started. If you don't tell your story, how people are going to know about your story, right?
Exactly.
So, yoga is a integral part of your body?
Yes, it is.
And your life?
Yes, it is.
And so, why did you want to do yoga at Gurdwaras?
To help other community, keep them healthy and breaking the boundaries. I'm all about breaking the boundaries.
Explain that to me.
Other community, so if we start yoga, everyone needs yoga.
That's
everyone likes yoga.
Right.
So other community will come.
Yes.
And because being in Gurdwara, they will come and be curious and ask me. And whoever comes, I usually take them and show them around and tell them a little bit about Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And don't throw it on them, but a little bit.
Not like Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes, just a little bit. And they enjoy that.
Right.
And then I connect with them when I show them around. So I walk with them, so they connect with me.
Right.
And so they want to come back again. And then they tell others. And we had about 60 to 70 people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at Akali Singh.
Right.
And because that is a beautiful place too.
Oh, Akali Singh Gurdwara is one of the most beautiful Gurdwaras.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So now they have 2 Darbar Sahib. So I use the second Darbar Sahib.
Okay.
So how beautifully carpeted and everything. People just, they say that when they come, they feel very peaceful.
Yes.
So it works really well. So they always replace themselves.
Kripal also told me that you write books for kids.
Yes, I did write. I wrote Dadi Diyan Loriyan.
Right.
Lullabies, grandmother's lullaby. Mahan Diyan Loriyan, that's mother's lullaby.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and
and they're all in Punjabi or in English?
No, they're in Punjabi.
In Punjabi, acha.
Chalo kuch puraniyan ਗੱਲਾਂ ਨਾ ਸਮਝ ਪਾਈਏ.
Let's remember old times.
Yeah.
That's
so it all came about because this came about because my younger son used to ask so many questions. He used to ask what your house was like, what your grandmother was like, what did you play? So when he grew up, then I kind of started writing.
So he was only 3 or 4 when his father passed away, right?
3.
So
3 years and 4 days old.
Wow.
Just had his birthday on 24th and he died on 28th.
Oh, wow. Some of those things that kids endure are life-changing. But you being such a strong force in your kids' life have helped them, become who they are today.
They are pretty good.
Yeah.
They turn out to be beautiful people and I'm so very proud. And they married really wonderful girls and
That's
have
fantastic.
wonderful grandchildren.
Now, you and I were talking about our age. You and I are almost the same age.
Same age,
yeah. And now I am going to keep thinking which movies we talked at the BBC that were shown at Hounslow West. And I'm going to go back home and talk to my little sister, whom we used to take with us to the Odeon cinema. And what was the name of the cinema in Hounslow West?
Wasn't it Odeon?
Was it also an Odeon?
I think so.
Because in South Hall was Odeon.
I think the Odeon, it was Odeon.
It was Odeon,
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Do you remember any film that you showed which was a sold-out house?
Oh boy.
No.
They was not sold out those days.
No?
No, not sold out those days. There was not too many people up there. We were just trying something new. You know, same thing, trying this yoga.
Yes.
It wasn't new, but then it worked out. And then we decided to move.
Yes.
And then we passed it on to someone else.
Yeah.
A younger generation.
I remember when I first came here, there was Patel's used to own a grocery store,
Used to
right?
go, yeah.
Yeah, Patel Supermarket on 6th and Commercial. They owned the cinema hall.
Cinema, yes, used to
And
go there
the
too.
biggest movie that played there was Kurbani. Sold out houses. And then a film that I saw there was Heel Ranja. And that was way back in the 70s, right? Late 70s. So, you know, you and I both have had you were born in India, I was born in Africa. But we were in England and now in Canada. I am so grateful to Kirpalji. Thank you for making me meet you one more time. And it's been lovely to meet you and learn about your life. Thank you for being our Woman in Focus today.
Welcome. It's nice to see you. Like, I see you all the time, but on the screen. But yeah, you know, there was another thing you did for my family.
Yes?
My sister-in-laws.
Yes.
She had a daughter, and you told her she should be modeling. She was about 7 years, and then she did. She did something for C&A.
Oh, wow.
The children clothes.
Lovely,
Yeah, see,
beautiful.
Even though I don't know, you didn't know me, but I did all the time I watched you, and it was lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you, Abnash.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and you have made a difference in my life as well. And Ujjwal Dosanjh.
And Ujjwal Dosanjh. Of course, mustn't forget Ujjwal Dosanjh.
No, I wouldn't. No.
Very strong personality.
That was great.
You know, his strength is his wife, Raminder.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm glad that you remember both of them.
Yeah.
Thank you once again for being a Woman in
You're
Focus
welcome.
today. Don't go away. We'll be right back.